the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the Miami Dolphins.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Miami Dolphins. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. And they've lost 3 straight here, and it goes without saying, I guess, they could certainly use a win.
And how do they get a win? Because they've lost 3 straight, I think it's paramount that they get a fast, clean start to this game.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started. And with towels waving, we're underway from Heinz Field. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. Competitor, gritty, tough, you name it.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Ebron caught left side. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. And, Charles, this defense, I have to imagine, kind of licking its chops when you get a chance to face a team that's lost 3 straight.
And my surprise was listening to their head coach in his weekly presser, because normally you and I see guys that get up there and say, everybody's a threat any given Sunday, that sort of thing. But he was asked if this might be a trap game, and he essentially said he didn't see anything to worry about. Now, normally you say that to your team, but you don't tell us. You definitely don't say it to the media.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Jerome Baker leading the surge there as he drops him for a loss of 6. Well, they sent him on the blitz from that linebacker spot, and boy, he got there quickly.
He certainly did, and obviously he could have used a block from his running back, but I think you nailed it right there. The defender got into the backfield so fast, it's hard for anyone to react.
2nd and 16. They'll look to throw here. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
They'll set up to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That one sails out of bounds. A side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
So this is where we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside, everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua steps away. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A big play there for the Dolphins. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Now the big play pushes them all the way out to the 40 now for first down. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins on just 2 plays have taken the lead. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 16 carries, 67 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's 2nd and 8. Able to hit his target, Claypool. Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, sometimes a thing of beauty.
yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
2nd and 5. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Steelers send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. So the Dolphins offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And right now they're in that number 2 spot. They would love to hold on to that, but obviously first things first. They want to clinch the division.
And that's what everyone plays for. Win your division first, guarantees you a spot in the playoffs, but still a nice spot to be in. Not as good as it was when the number 2 seed meant a first-round bye. That's all changed with the new playoff system, but still a nice spot to be in.
And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the man from Kentucky, this is Lynn Bowden. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second and 10, a very chilly day here, but no snow. And I got to say, if it's going to be this cold, I want snow. You should see Charles' face. He's looking at me like I'm crazy. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Tua. Finding some room at midfield. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A big play there for the Dolphins.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent. and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Play action. Now it's Tua. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range, so now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa on the move to his left. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big play there for the Dolphins. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way, oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that one, an 8-play drive. It spans 75 yards. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll run with Harris. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
On the ground, it's Harris. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Second and 14. Short little throw to Ebron. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken around the 12. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
On play action, here's Tua rolling to his right. He'll check this one down to Bowden, complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Tua going to throw. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. When you talk about just coming in and completely seizing momentum, they can go up 21-0 here. We haven't even hit halftime.
And the other part of this, you can start to feel the unrest here in the stadium. I think these fans are saying, what hit us? And this isn't about fantasy points. This is about rooting their team on.
Sanders on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. The quick strike ability certainly intact there. 2 plays, 80 yards to score it. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Harris starts the drive on the ground. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now Harris. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Emmanuel Ogbah racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The Steelers send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. And he's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. The ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37. Tua going to tap this forward on the jet sweep. Room to run past midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane. And I guess I need to clarify, I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward. Tua now on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Steelers are going to get the football back at their own 17. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stuff. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. It's brought in by Harris. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. They'll look to throw again. He finds his man Johnson. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 36.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Colts on top as that one approaches halftime. Zach Pascal up over 100 yards receiving with 2 touchdown grabs. From there, let's get over to the Rockies to check out the Broncos at home in Denver. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars were hoping to finish strong. They could not get the job done. But they'll still be a force as they finish at 14-2.
An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll just get rid of it. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Buying time to his left. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds. So a big call there that brings up 4th. Here's Michael Pilardi now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle it.
It'll be a 41-yard punt, give him 5 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Harris. Now this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd and 1. Hitting Juju on the slant. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
And he'll just plow right into a host of tacklers. Nothing there at all, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll set up a throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Man, this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, that play really didn't fool them. They completed the screen pass, but for lost yardage, a really nice play by the defense.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Boswell's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, brother, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Waddle is going to elect to not bring this out, and instead his guys will begin at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
On 2nd and a yard, Tua. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves. Tua
now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the third at MetLife Stadium. The Patriots, they've opened a 2-touchdown advantage in that one. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Sanders now to add the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL.